Good morning to all of you from all of us here at Julian Campbell Foundation. And the purpose of this video is to talk more about the content of my book, which is based on the work that we do here at Julian Campbell Foundation, supporting children and young people to better manage their mental health and well-being. We're an early intervention charity, and we work on supporting children and helping them and giving them the resilience and the tools they need to manage their mental health and well-being. So in 2017, I'm pleased to say that this book here, Runs in the Family, was an Amazon bestseller, and it's forwarded by Tito Jackson. And for a while, Tito Jackson, he was our international well-being person. You know, he was our ambassador, and he is amazing. And I'm pleased to say that we have, due to popular demand, we have now in Spanish, tenemos el mismo libro en español. Estoy muy contenta. It's very, very good. And again, we have the forward. Of course, it's in Spanish this time with Tito Jackson. And so first of all, I'd like us to have a check-in, like, where are you in your mood today? Because it's something that I didn't really do before I was working in this field, to really look at where we are in our mood, like in our health. So mood is a mixture of two things: how much or how little energy we've got and how we're feeling. Are we feeling really, really good, really, really positive, or are we feeling rubbish? And it's those two things together, our energy and that kind of like feeling of goodness or rubbishness, that gives us the mood in the moment. And the thing is, mood can be changed. It's not a fixed thing. Nobody has a negative mood or negative well-being and it stays like that forever. We can change our mood depending on what we do. So this is a mood map here. You can see it here on some of the transmissions, and we can see that, you can see my cursor. This here, like the y-axis, this is the energy, and where we have the red and the yellow, that's high amounts of energy, and the low amounts of energy are the blue and the green. And then on the well-being side, the positive side is the green and the yellow side, and the negative side, or the low well-being side or pleasantness side, is the red and the blue. And so just check in, to see where you are now. And it's good if you can check in at various times of the day. I have to say, because I've had a cold this week, that where I am, my energy is low. And I'd say I'm in the green, kind of like bordering on the blue. So I'm quite calm. I'm here. And it's really good to see where you are, because when you detect that you're somewhere, for example, in the red or the blue, there's things that you can do to move yourself out of that area. And that's what we do. This is what we work. This is how we work with our children when we're supporting them in schools, colleges, and in the communities. So first of all, I just want to share with you. So we've looked at our check-in, which is great. Let's just put that back. And yeah, so I just want to share one thing. So in these books, there's some simple and effective things that we can do as adults to help form and develop our young children. And I say this from 35 years of experience of working with children in schools, and more recently, the charity for the last 15, 17 years. So it's really good for us as adults to spend time on ourselves every day. There has to be like a 15 or 20-minute window where we as adults can do what it is that we want to do, Yeah, nobody else involved. It's really important that we invest in ourselves. And I don't know what you would do, but I've spoken with parents, they read the Bible, they pray, they go out for a walk, all of these things. It's really important to invest in yourself and give yourself what you need. Otherwise, you will be running on empty. And then the second thing, which is just as important, is to spend 20 minutes with that young person in your life, 20 minutes a day. So as charity workers, we train and develop our mentors to listen for what a young person is dealing with. So when I say for, what do I mean? Not just listening to, but listening for, because with everything they say, there's usually a commitment or something behind all of that. And our mentors are trained to listen and to make inquiries and be in their world. And from that way can develop from where they are to where they want to get to. So quite commonly where they want to get to, it might be success in their studies, in their relationships, quite often than not, or their families. And the mentor works with them through the listening skills. And so what we find is that with a lot of our young people, nobody really listens to them in the way that our mentors are trained to listen to them. And for parents, it is hard because, especially I know this as a teacher, because, parents are working, they've got these stresses of everyday life, bills to pay and things like that. And the conversations that are most common with the children is kind of like all the young people in their lives is, have you done your homework? Have you got your things ready for school? Have you done this? Have you done that? More of a checking in kind of thing. And what's really, really important is that the 20 minutes that you spend with this young person in your life is the 20 minutes that you spend with them. There's no orders, there's no directives or anything like that. You're in their world. Because really, the young person in your life wants to be with you. And it's really important because studies show that when this happens over a period of time, that there's a lot of advantages. I'm going to say more in a minute. So let's just talk about another thing that's mentioned in these books, apart from the time that you spend with yourself and the young person in your life. It's really important to have meals together at least 5 times a week. So, of course, like breakfast is difficult, because you might be going to work and then your son or daughter or the person in your life is going to school. And it's really important, I would say, that after school and after work, that you have that time together, because in schools, it's quite often 20 young people to one adult or 30 to one adult. And there's lots of things that are happening during the day. And it's really important that our young people have a place, a safe space to be able to talk about their day and make sense of their day. And that's where you come in to provide that. And it needs to be a space without mobiles, without laptops, without tablets. It's just, a family meal where you're talking, you're sharing about what's happened during the day. And because studies show that young people that have their meals as a family for a minimum of 5 times a week, they progress better in schools, they get better exam results, they are more resilient, they have higher levels of emotional intelligence, they're less likely to fall into drugs or alcohol or anything like that. And they're more rounded and developed as human beings. And this is what we want, really, for our young people when they leave home, that they can stand up on their own, because you've given them that backdrop, you've given them that support. And what quite often happens, because there's so many things happening in a school, a young person can make a decision about themselves. Let's say, for example, it could be bullying, it could be any incident that happens in the school. And then without an adult or without somebody to talk them through it, a young person is likely to make a decision about themselves. And then that decision about themselves, they take that going forward. And it's usually a negative decision about themselves. And this all can be avoided by having those evening meals together where you sit down and talk, and the young person will be sharing about what they, what happened in their day. And in that moment, you can be there to cause that bridge with them, to help them through that difficulty, and be that kind of like that sounding board. You're not on one side, you're not on the other. Well, you're supporting the young person in that decision-making process. Because what I've seen working as a teacher, a consultant, and working with families, that if left to their own devices, young people make decisions about things that have happened, and it's not usually a positive decision. And I think in that decision-making process, it's really good if they are working it through with an adult or somebody that can really transfer that emotional intelligence to them. So today we've talked about why it's so important to have that time, why it's so important to spend as an adult 15 to 20 minutes a day with the young person in your life, doing exactly what they want to do. And also the importance of having family meals together without all of the paraphernalia of today's society, the phones, the mobiles, the tablets, and things like this, because it really does make a difference on the well-being and the emotional intelligence of your child. So for more information, please do feel free to check me out and check these out as well. And there'll be more information as we're talking with more people that have read the book, people that have translated it from English or helped me translate it from English to Spanish. And any questions that you have, any comments about the time and the impact of time with the young person in your life will be very gratefully received. And so thank you for listening to this video, and we wish all of you a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you in the next video.